With what fervor do I dream of things I should have seen? I couldn't live without this. So it's actually a matter of life and death. Not to be too dramatic, but it is really a matter of life and spiritual and emotional death for me if I'm not doing this. What I hear is the softness of your sighs as my hands reach for your thighs. Huh.
She walks in pure glamour. When I'm on the mic, I can see she is sex at first glance. I am consonance, she is bass and boom. In a full room, the way she moves requires a response. If I drank more booze, I'd be able to seduce, but I'm so dry. Words create a noose.
I just know that my politics come from a place of love, and that is love for all people. That is why there are those that would, on first glance, hate me. Even though it's a struggle, the day-to-day life for the common man is a struggle. You know, it's wage slavery, it's debt, it's issues with family, it's all this stuff. There's barely even time to think about the bigger picture. There's barely even time to digest, to seek out different news sources, to do what it is, to be skeptical, to think more freely. Working, and you've got a mortgage, and you've got a family, and someone's sick, and there's all this going on. How are you going to sit there and dissect, what is your diet of information? It's next to impossible. And then how do I get in front of those people? Because most of the time, I am preaching to the converted.
Can we just talk about creation for a second? Because I didn't create my own heartbeat. It's not something I can control. You encouraged it to beat louder. Look.
What infuriates me is when people tell me I'm too angry, or I shouldn't be angry. How can you not be angry? How can you not be angry at the state of the world? How can you not be infuriated? I don't understand people who aren't infuriated. At every turn, every twist, every corner, we're having our civil rights removed from us, and it's so insidious we don't even know it's happening. I've been performing and producing work consistently for 3 or 4 years now, with very little time to live in the real world. And that's a danger as well for artists, that we create this bubble around us and we don't exist in the real world anymore. I will feel a poem coming. There will be sentences that are going around in my head. Something is germinating. I might write a sentence down, an idea, but I leave it alone. And the first thing that happens when a new poem is happening, it's all up here and in here. It's not on paper. And then maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month after that first vibe is kind of happening, I'll sit down and I'll write. And I can punch out a poem in 3 hours, a piece that I know with some editing and some polishing and some cleaning up is going to be amazing.
Took for granted for anger, I am my family's blood.
I once saw this poet in the US who did a whole poem about how he wasn't writing, God was writing through him, right? On one level, that is the most egotistical idea ever, that there is something greater using you and you are the voice for that. Do you know what I mean? It's the most, that is ego on a whole other level. But sometimes when I write, I'm barely even present. I don't think there's anything special about me. I just can't live my life silent. Performance poetry is a shared experience. It's a collective experience, an experience where someone is on stage and sharing words and ideas and philosophy and all these different things, but to an audience, and the audience gets to experience that with the people around them and directly with the creator of that work. I get the opportunity to work with young people to give them the tools to find their own unique voices, and then the confidence to express that. the amount of young people I've worked with, and something as simple as saying to them, what you have to say is important. Most young people think that they've got nothing important to say, that no one actually cares, and that no one is really listening. People sometimes see me as a personal affront to them. It's a very strange thing. It's like I make them so uncomfortable just because of the way that I look. And yeah, it's happened where I'm walking down the street in the eastern suburbs and someone calls out of the car, cut your hair and get a job. I mean, it's pretty funny. When someone says something and it resonates with you so deeply you can't even describe the sensation, of course that's a value to society. Does society value art? I don't know. I don't know if we can say that anymore, because society seems to predominantly value that which has tangible, instant economic, value.
Don't you know that it makes me want you, 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 want you more?
I wanted to love her until her bones ached.